Hey guys, VideoJames, and this is going to be how to use Jolteon. Jolteon is one of the fastest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it's safe to say that if this wasn't enough to break the top 150 fastest Pokemon, then there's something extremely wrong with every other Pokemon, because this thing is as fast as all heck, which is reasonable considering it's pure electric type. But anyway, Jolteon is indeed one of the evolutions, and it is the one you get by using a Thunderstone on Eevee, and it turns into a pure electric type. So we see it's got the pure electric typing, and then we see its abilities, that it's got Volt Absorb, basically what the three elemental evolutions have, is immunity to their own types. And then we see it's got the hidden ability Quick Feet. Speed is increased by 50% when induced with a status. So basically, like Flareon, it's increasing its speed by 50% instead of its attack. And if it's paralyzed, the speed drop is ignored, which you can't actually paralyze an electric, so it's kinda moot point. And as it is a pure electric, we're only getting that one weakness to ground, but we are hitting water and flying super effective, and with our type coverage, we will be hitting psychic, dark, and ghost super effective as well. So then, when we look at Jolteon's moves, we see it's got stuff like Double Kick, something I rarely ever see on a Jolteon, but I have seen at least once. We see it's got Thunder Fang, Pin Missile, Thunder Wave, Discharge, Thunder, Agility, really good. And then we see in the TMs, we got stuff like Hidden Power, Toxic, Roar, Work Up, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Facade, Attract, Rest, all that good stuff. What's ironic though is that we don't get Reflect, but we get Light Screen, which is kind of bad considering Jolteon's defense is lower than its special defense. If you don't know what those do, Reflect raises your team's defense for about 5 turns, and Light Screen raises your team's special defense for about 5 turns. And then moving on, we see we got stuff like Volt Switch, Sleep Talk, Substitute, and Wild Charge. And then moving on to the egg moves, we see we got stuff like Curse, Wish, Yawn, Detect, Synchronoise, which actually got banned for some reason. And then we see in the pre-evolution moves, we've got stuff like Takedown, Baton Pass, Double Edge, just a lot of good stuff. And then we see in the transfer moves, we got stuff like Heal Bell, Iron Tail, and Signal Beam, which is actually one of my favorite attacks that Jolteon can get, because it's got a chance to confuse a target. And that's basically it for a Jolteon. Oh, it does get Reflect, my bad. But Reflect was only gotten in Gen 1, so unless you have a Gen 1 Jolteon that you've transferred up, I highly doubt you're going to have one with Reflect. But anyway, when we look at the Jolteon stats, like I said, this thing is way too fast. That it's got 130 in the speed. That's only 20 less than a Ash Greninja and 21 less than a Pheromosa. So if this thing can take a hit from a Pheromosa, then you basically just win. And then we see the HP and attack both hitting 65. The defense only at 60. Very not good for a Jolteon, considering it's getting hit by ground types. And basically every ground type move is a physical move. And then we see the special attack hitting 110, meaning you're getting a base 350 with max investment. And then we see the special defense hitting 95. So when we hop on into Showdown, we see... crap. You know, Showdown, once I would just wish that you would work right. There we go. But anyway, when we hop into Showdown, that's going to click the wrong team, isn't it? Nope, it actually clicked the right team. Good on ya. When we hop into Showdown, we see basic just Jolteon sweeps. That Jolteon doesn't really have much in the way of tank, so we're going to want to be as fast and as damaging as possible. So the first set, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, and Volt Switch, and then we've just got the Life Orb for extra damage, and maxed in the special attack and speed with the Timid Nature. So, Thunderbolt just for the stab damage, Shadow Ball, just coverage because it's got the good thing, Signal Beam, like I said, coverage, and it's got that chance to confuse, and then Volt Switch just for that time when you run into something you don't want to fight. Now you could put Choice Specs on Jolteon. I don't really like it, because Life Orb doesn't limit you and still takes a little bit of health, while Choice Specs kind of limits you to one thing, so if you run into something dangerous, you can't really use Volt Switch as a safe out. And then for this one, I would recommend probably using Quick Feet. I wouldn't use Volt Absorb for this one, mainly because this is going to be probably a singles mostly set. So when you're running this set, you're going to see more single stuff than doubles, so you're not really going to be running into much Volt Absorb action. And Quick Feet, like I said, boosting your speed by 50% when you got a status, so you run into something like a Chandelure or a Rotom Wash, get a Will-O-Wisp on you, okay, I got speed now. What up? And then, like I said in EVs, max out the special attack, max out the speed, and then just slap on a Timid Nature, and you throw the rest of the EVs into HP. That, it not being a tank, you still gotta throw those extra EVs somewhere, so you might as well just throw them into HP. That one bit of HP can sometimes save you in a battle. And Nature, again, Timid, you just want to get that speed up to max, already hitting 394, not gonna be close to a Pheromosa, but if you can take a hit, you're basically not going to need it. And then we see the next set. This is kind of a double set, and mostly a kind of protection set. That we see this one's got Discharge, Yawn, Protect, and Signal Beam. And the reason for Yawn is that with Jolteon having such a fast speed, if you can get a Yawn off, you'll basically be incapacitating your enemy after one turn. And like I said, this is mainly used for double battles, so this Jolteon does work really well with Yawn. And then we got Protect just for a safe turn, and then Discharge for damage, and Signal Beam for just coverage. And then we get the Bright Powder just to boost your evasiveness, because you are going to want to be able to not take a hit while you're using Yawn, or while you're dealing damage. And then this one we got the Volt Absorb ability, because like I said, this one mainly going to be used in double battles. You're not really going to be using this one a lot in singles, that you're not really going to be able to get many combos off, but you still might. So you could run this as a single set with Quick Feet, but most of the time you're probably going to see it in doubles with Volt Absorb. And then for this one, stats, the exact same as the last one actually. That you max out the special attack, max out the speed, and then throw on a Timid Nature. I almost said max out the HP for a minute, because I was looking at the HP. But yeah, you max out the special attack, max out the speed, throw on a Timid Nature, and then just fill the HP up to the rest. And then the last Jolteon, basic Baton Pass set, that if you're running a team of Evolutions, sometimes you want to run into a Baton Pass, so you use a few Evolutions with Baton Pass and then other ones just for complete damage. So that's basically what this next set is, that we've got Focus Sash on it for the sustain. And then we can see it's actually a physical set, which not expected, but kind of agreeable. That we've got Curse just for the stat boost of attack and defense, raising it up a little bit. That we've got Double Team for that evasiveness, which I recommend you use first, because you will want to not get hit. Then we got Baton Pass for the stat pass. And then we got Wild Charge just for the damage. That with Wild Charge still giving you a little bit of damage on the recoil, you can just Baton Pass on your next turn and be like, okay, now I can give this to someone else and they can come in and take it. And then for the stat investment, we've got maxing out the attack, actually, instead this time. Bit of a different strat, but it does work with the attack, because with the Curse, you're getting a half of that attack added onto you, so you're hitting up to like 340 something. And then we see the speed, maxed out again with a Jolly Nature, and you just throw on a Focus Sash and give him the Volt Absorb. And that's basically how to use Jolteon. He doesn't really have that wide of a move pool. You could run some weather moves on him and use him as a weather setup if he were a little bit tankier, but Jolteon just doesn't have that kind of tank. Even with an Assault Vest, you wouldn't be able to really do anything with him, just because he'd get wrecked instantly by anything that hit him defensively, and if you tried boosting his defenses, same thing, you'd still get wrecked by anything that hit you with special defense. But anyway, that was how to use Jolteon. If you guys liked the video, you can slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.